Today we bring you a Tonka truck. We've done a couple Tonkas on the channel. The first one we ever did was actually a tow truck, and I think I painted that with Spectra Flame yellow. And then the second one was I think it was a cement mixer. We might have done that original. This one we're going to take back to original as well. I don't recall where I got this one. I think I might have got this also at an antique store because it looks like there was a sticker of some sort there at one point. It's got some rust, especially under the axles, what have you. The glass is pretty boogered up, rust here, a little bit of rust everywhere. It's still all there, it still works. So we're going to do it like we've done the other ones. We are going to, I think we got a crack in one of the wheels. Looks like we may have a crack right there. Don't know if we're going to be able to repair that, but we will be whitening the wheels. I may have some Tonka wheels somewhere. I'm not sure. I don't think so, but that may end up being cracked in the end. A lot of rust under here, and no, this is not the fake rust that you find in a lot of restorations. It's true rust. There's no rust on the plastic. That's kind of a good indication. And there's no rust really on anything other than the metal. So this one might take a look. It looks easy, but it may be a little bit of a challenge because I'm sure some of this is going to have some pitting. And yeah, so we're going to take it apart. I may not do any talking in this video. I may just kind of do the work and let the work do the talking. So I guess let's begin. I actually spread this apart to take a look at the rust in the seams, and it is pretty bad. On the inside it's bad as well. We may end up drilling out this rivet. I do actually have the proper tool for the Tonka to re-rivet that. So if I take this out, we can actually spread this whole thing apart. It's essentially a flat piece of metal that's bent. I mean, there's relief cuts here, 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 here. It's one flat sheet that gets bent into the shape that you see now. So we'll see. We're going to, before we strip the paint, we're actually going to clean this really well. All the parts, you can see there's a lot of rust everywhere. Mainly in the areas where it's, you know, there's corners and that kind of thing. This was definitely left out the pasture. You can also, this is same deal, riveted, and there's little tabs. So I may do that as well. We'll see how it cleans up. I would rather not reattach this piece, but if we have to, we have to. few hours later, you can see how dirty that water is. That's actually cleaned up pretty nice. So now we gotta strip it all. Oops. We'll let it dry first. Guess I'll have to get some more of that. That did not go as planned. Well, I'm either going to be stripping this by hand or I need to find a better solution, because even after 3 hours, very minimal paint was removed. That's what scrubbing them with a wire brush. Insides pretty much came clean, well, for the most part. No they didn't. What am I saying? As you can see, the crack is definitely still there, but look how nice and white that is. So it's a pretty good result. We'll just have to live with the crack. Alright, here we are. Getting ready for final assembly. You may notice I do not have decals on this yet. I'm going to put those on next. But I'm not using the Tonka decals. I do have them. I made them up on the printer, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. On all of the other Tonkas we've done, I've actually used those decals. But on this one, I want to do something a little bit different. I had a subscriber, and I reached out to me, I don't know, a few years ago when we did the Blasphemy for the roadkill, and he made me some stickers or actually water slide decals, and I never used any more of them. I did use some of them, but he has these ones with what I used to use as my logo, and I hadn't used any of those. So I've already cut the 2 out that I'm going to use. So instead of the Tonka logo, there'll be the little Hot Wheels, and it says Wheels and Things under it, like that. So I'm going to use those in place. There's no reason for it. I just figured I'm not reselling this. I'm not doing anything with it. And I thought it'd be cool to finally use some of those. And voila, the magic of YouTube, it is done. It's complete. I think it looks great. Hopefully you'll agree. My favorite is the whitening of all of the plastic. It was all pretty much yellow. A couple of the wheels were not too bad, but I ended up whitening all of them. And the reason why is because the developer, which is right here, in combination with the curing apparatus, I mean, it turned it whiter than it was. The interior is really white, and I left it in there for almost 10 minutes. It only does 9 minutes and 50 seconds. Now, I'll put a link in the description below this video to all the tools we use, including the developer. The curing apparatus, unfortunately, that's like a dental specific product. You probably can't buy it, but it's essentially some curing lights inside of like a rotating stand, and it heats it up as well. But I'll put a link to some other kind of, there's other curing lights out there, other infrared lights that'll work. And I think I've used them in other projects. It's just a little light that you can put in there to help cure that. Now on the paint, it looks great. There's one blemish, and we'll show you right here. And that is rust. That's no fault of the paint. So when we painted this, we used the high build primer, and it covered almost everything else. Everything was pitted. I mean, this has got a lot of pit marks on it. I could have sanded it and put some Bondo on it, but I didn't really want to do that. Kind of wanted to keep it somewhat original, even though that would have not really excluded it from being original. Of course, I added non-original stickers to it, but the high build primer wouldn't take care of that section. And you'll notice I did some non-conventional things, at least for myself in this video, when we were stripping it. And the white vinegar worked great for converting the rust, but you'll notice I also ended up dumping the vinegar along with parts into the ultrasonic cleaner, and that worked wonders. I had never tried that before. I don't know if anybody else has ever tried that. I just thought, hey, let's throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner, because even though I had cleaned it several times with soapy water, it still was just kind of dirty. And the vinegar mixed with the ultrasonic, it cleaned the metal up phenomenally. I mean, it got rid of the rust. By getting rid of it, I mean converting the rust. It was still pitted, but there was no rust, and it turned out great. So I may do that, obviously not on Hot Wheels. They're not metal, so they won't rust, but I've got some other projects on my other channel that yeah, I work on motorcycles and that kind of thing. So that will be something I will definitely use for other projects. So it was kind of a nice little learning experiment. I'll probably give this to my granddaughter, actually. I've never had her on the channel, but she just turned 5 last month, and she likes to play with trucks as well as my grandson. He's 9, going on 10. He likes trucks, but more of the bigger trucks, so this will be going to her. Having said that, maybe I should have done it like a Spectraflame pink. I'm not redoing this one, but maybe on the next one we will do a Spectraflame pink, because pink and purple are her favorite colors. Of course, I could do plum purple too. I don't know. We'll have to see. Again, any of the tools that I use, below this video in the description, there'll be Amazon affiliate links. I know a lot of people have asked me, where do I get this, where do I get that? And all of those are in there. With the exception, the riveting tool, I will try to find a link for that. They don't sell it on Amazon. I don't remember exactly where I got it, but it's made for Tonkas. It's pretty cool. You can see we drilled those rivets out so we could take it all apart. That was also a new experience for me. I never folded the metal completely out and done that. It's pretty cool, but you can't tell anything's ever done. That's just like the original rivet, and that little tool is phenomenal. So I will try to find a link for that if you're interested in that. It was kind of expensive. I think it was around $90, something like that. And I've only used it for 3 Tonkas, so it really hasn't paid itself off. And I think that's going to wrap it up for this one. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post those. And as always, thanks for watching. Can't forget though, if I don't make a new video before Christmas, I want everybody to have a Merry Christmas. Hopefully I'll have one before the New Year. Christmas is only like a week and a few days away, so I'm not entirely sure if I'll have another video up before then, but I'm going to make every attempt possible. Anyway, we'll see you next time.